It is 11 p.m. The house is finally quiet. The kids are asleep. The emails are answered. You are lying in bed, exhausted, craving nothing but sleep. And then, you feel it. His hand brushes against your waist. In the past, that touch would have sent a spark through you. But tonight, your body stiffens. Your breath catches in your throat, not out of excitement, but out of dread. A silent panic sets in. You think, please, not tonight, I'm too tired, I just can't. You pretend to be asleep. Or maybe you give in, performing a duty just to get it over with, leaving you feeling empty, used, and disconnected. And afterwards, staring at the ceiling in the dark, that terrifying question echoes in your mind. What happened to me? I used to love this. I love him. Why do I feel nothing? You blame your age. You blame the stress. You tell yourself it's just a phase. But deep down, you are terrified of a darker possibility. You ask yourself the question that thousands of women aged 30 to 60 are secretly asking themselves right at this moment. Am I broken? Listen to me closely. You are not broken. You are not cold. And you are certainly not alone. What you are experiencing is not a failure of your body, and it is not a lack of love. It is a complex biological and psychological signal that has been misunderstood for decades. Society tells you to take a pill, drink some wine, or spice it up. But those are lies, designed to cover up the truth. In the next few minutes, we are going to peel back the layers of guilt. We are going to reveal the real reason based on neuroscience and female physiology why your desire has shut down. And more importantly, how to turn it back on. Welcome. Let's talk about the things no one else will. Take a deep breath. Let that breath go all the way down to your belly. Before we go any further, I need you to hear this. The shame you are feeling right now, that heavy weight in your chest when you look at your partner, it is poisoning you. And it is completely unnecessary. I have spent years listening to the private confessions of women just like you, powerful, intelligent, loving women who feel like failures the moment the bedroom door closes. They tell me, I used to be spontaneous, I used to be wild. Now I feel like a dried up well. They tell me they feel like false advertisers. Like they trapped their husbands with a version of themselves that no longer exists. They worry that their partner will cheat or leave, simply because they cannot force their body to perform desire like a switch. But here is the truth that society, and perhaps even your doctor, hasn't told you. You are not designed to be a light switch. You are designed to be a slow-burning fire. For decades, we have been fed a lie. Movies, romance novels, and pop culture have taught us that real desire must be spontaneous. It must hit you out of the blue, like a lightning bolt. You should look at him across the room and instantly want to tear his clothes off. And when you are 20, fueled by a surge of estrogen and the novelty of a new relationship, that is exactly how it works. But you are not 20 anymore. You are a woman navigating the complex waters of your 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and beyond. Your life is fuller, your mind is busier, and your physiology has evolved. Here is the scientific reality we need to confront. The mechanism in your brain that controls desire is fighting a war against the mechanism that controls survival. Think about your day, the deadlines, the aging parents, the children, the household management, the endless mental load, that invisible list of tasks running through your head, 247. Your brain perceives this constant, low-level stress as a threat. When your body is in a state of chronic stress 7, if you don't feel panicked, your nervous system floods with cortisol. Evolutionarily speaking, when you are running from a predator, the last thing your body wants to do is reproduce. It shuts down the luxury functions to focus on survival. So, when 11 p.m. comes and your partner touches you, your body isn't rejecting him. It is rejecting demand. It is protecting your energy. Your nervous system is screaming, I am not safe yet. I am not relaxed yet. I cannot open up. But because no one taught you this, you interpret it as a lack of love. You interpret it as brokenness. You try to fix it by forcing it. You treat sex like another chore on your to-do list. Buy milk, pay bills, have sex. And that is the most dangerous trap of all, because nothing kills desire faster than duty. I am here to tell you that there is a way back. But it is not about buying more lingerie, and it is not about faking it till you make it. It is about understanding the brake and the accelerator in your brain. It is about shifting from spontaneous desire to something far more powerful and sustainable called responsive desire. We are going to dismantle the myths that are making you miserable. We are going to look at your anatomy and your psychology with fresh eyes. If you are ready to stop feeling broken and start understanding the magnificent, complex machinery of your own body, then you are in the right place. This is not just about sex. This is about reclaiming your vitality. Let's begin by destroying the biggest myth of all, the one that says your menopause or your hormones are the sole villains in this story. Let's strip away the noise and face the biggest lie you have been told about your own body. It is a lie that has destroyed millions of bedrooms and shattered the confidence of countless women. It is the myth of the standard sexual drive. For the last century, science, medicine, and pop culture have defined normal sex based almost entirely on how men work. Here is the male model we all know. Step 1. You feel spontaneous desire. You get horny. Step 2. You engage in foreplay. Step 3. You have physical arousal. Step 4. You have satisfaction. It is a straight line, like a staircase. It is predictable. And for most men, it is accurate. So, when you don't feel that sudden, spontaneous urge at step 1, when you aren't walking around hungry for sex, you assume the whole staircase is broken. You assume you have a medical condition. But here's the scientific breakthrough that changes everything. Women do not work like men. For many women, especially women in long-term relationships and those navigating the hormonal shifts of their 40 seconds and 50 seconds, the model is not a straight line. It is a circle. We call this responsive desire. In this model, desire does not come first. Arousal comes first. Let me explain. You might not be in the mood when you start. Your mind is neutral. You are not hungry. But if you allow yourself to engage, if the context is right, if the stress is low, if the touch feels safe, your body begins to wake up. Physical arousal starts to flow, and only then, once your body is engaged, does your mind catch up and say, "Oh yes, I want this. This feels good." Desire is not the spark that starts the fire. Desire is the heat that comes after the fire is lit. Waiting for spontaneous desire to hit you before you have sex is like waiting to feel inspired before you go to the gym. You almost never feel like going. But once you are there, once you start moving, you feel amazing. Now, let's address the second giant myth. It's all because of menopause. Yes, your biology is changing. We cannot ignore the facts. As you approach perimenopause and menopause, your estrogen levels drop. This thins the vaginal walls and reduces natural lubrication. It can make sex uncomfortable or even painful. Pain is the ultimate desire killer. If your brain associates sex with pain, it will slam on the brakes to protect you. That is a survival mechanism. But blaming everything on hormones is a trap. I have seen women with perfect hormone replacement therapy who still have zero libido. And I have seen postmenopausal women with no hormone therapy who have the best sex of their lives. Why? Because hormones are just the fuel. Context is the engine. If your relationship feels disconnected, if you harbor resentment, if you feel unseen, or if you are exhausted from carrying the mental load of the entire household, no amount of estrogen in the world will make you want sex. Your brain is the biggest sex organ you have, and right now, for many of you, that organ is overloaded with stress, not hormones. You aren't broken because you don't work like a man. You aren't broken because your ovaries are retiring. You are stuck because you are waiting for a spontaneous feeling that your body has evolved past, and you are ignoring the context that your mind desperately needs. To understand this fully, we need to leave the abstract and look at a real life. Let me tell you the story of Sarah. Her story is not just a case study. It is a mirror. Meet Sarah. She is 47 years old. She has been married to Mark for 22 years. She is a marketing director, a mother of 2 teenagers, and the primary caretaker for her aging mother. From the outside, Sarah's life looks perfect. But inside, she feels like she is drowning in slow motion. Let's look at a typical Tuesday. Sarah's alarm goes off at 6 a.m. From the moment her feet hit the floor, her mind is racing. Did the kids finish their homework? Did she defrost the chicken for dinner? She has a presentation at 9. Her mom has a doctor's appointment at 2. By the time she gets home at 6:30 p.m., she has made hundreds of decisions. She has managed crises at work and mediated arguments at home. She is physically present, but mentally, she is completely tapped out. She is in what psychologists call survival mode. Then comes the evening routine. Dinner is cooked. Dishes are done. The house is finally quiet. Sarah sits on the couch, scrolling through her phone. Not really looking at it, just trying to turn her brain off. This is the only time of day that belongs to her. She just wants to exist in silence. She wants no one to ask her for anything. She wants no one to touch her. She is experiencing something called touch aversion. After being needed by everyone all day emotionally and physically, her skin feels raw. She has nothing left to give. Then Mark walks in. Mark is a good man. He misses his wife. He misses the intimacy they used to have. He sees her sitting there and thinks, finally, we have a moment. He sits next to her. He puts his hand on her knee and starts to rub her thigh. To Mark, this is a gesture of love. He is saying, I love you. I want to be close to you. But to Sarah, that touch doesn't feel like love. It feels like a demand. Her body physically recoils. Her stomach tightens. The thought flashes instantly in her mind. Oh no, he wants sex. I can't. I just can't. She freezes. She doesn't want to hurt his feelings. She knows it's been 3 weeks. The guilt washes over her like a cold wave. She calculates, if I do it now, it will take 20 minutes, and then I can sleep. If I say no, we have to have the talk about our relationship, and that will take 2 hours. So, sometimes, she gives in. She lies back. She lets him touch her. She loves him, so she tries to make herself feel something. But her mind is wandering. She's thinking about the laundry. She's thinking about the presentation tomorrow. She is present in body, but absent in spirit. Afterward, Mark rolls over, satisfied, perhaps thinking they just connected. But Sarah lies there in the dark, feeling lonelier than if she had slept alone. She feels used not by him, but by her own sense of duty. Other nights, she rejects him. She says, I have a headache, or I'm just so tired, Mark. She sees the look in his eyes. It's not just disappointment. It's rejection. He pulls his hand away. He turns his back. The silence in the room grows heavy. Sarah lies there, staring at his back, and the tears start to fall silently. She remembers when they were 25. She remembers when they couldn't keep their hands off each other. She remembers feeling vibrant, sexy, and alive. She thinks, where did that woman go? Did I kill her? Does Mark still want me? Or does he just want a body? Why is this so easy for everyone else and so hard for me? This cycle, Mark reaching out, Sarah pulling away, Mark feeling rejected, Sarah feeling guilty, has been repeating for years. It has built a glass wall between them. They can see each other, but they can't touch. Sarah believes her libido is dead. She believes she has dried up. She is convinced that unless she fixes her hormones, this is her life forever. But Sarah is wrong. Her libido isn't dead. It is simply in hibernation. It is buried under layers of stress, resentment, and a fundamental misunderstanding of how her own body works. She is trying to drive a car with the emergency brake pulled all the way up. What Sarah doesn't realize is that the problem isn't occurring in the bedroom. The problem is occurring in the kitchen, in the calendar, and in the unspoken gaps of their relationship. So, how do we explain what is happening inside Sarah's body at a biological level? Why does her body freeze when the man she loves touches her? Let's switch on the X-ray vision and look at the physiology of this shut down. To understand why Sarah's hand perhaps you feels broken, we have to stop looking at the genitals and start looking at the brain. In the late 1990 seconds, researchers at the Kinsey Institute developed a breakthrough concept called the dual control model. Imagine your brain has 2 distinct systems for sex. First, there is the accelerator. This is the sexual excitation system. It notices all the sex-related information in your environment, a handsome stranger, a romantic scene in a movie, a lingering touch from your partner. It says, go. This is potential pleasure. Second, there is the brake. This is the sexual inhibition system. Its job is to notice all the potential threats: the risk of pregnancy, the fear of judgment, the stress of work, the sound of a crying baby, or the exhaustion in your bones. It says, "Stop. It is not safe right now." Here is the critical revelation. Low libido is rarely a problem with the accelerator. It is almost always a problem with the brake. Sarah's accelerator is fine. She still finds her husband attractive. She still remembers what pleasure feels like. But her brake is jammed to the floor. Let's analyze the two massive weights pressing down on her brake pedal. Weight number 1. The cortisol hijack. Sarah lives in a state of chronic stress. Her brain is marinated in cortisol. Biologically, cortisol is a survival hormone. It prepares you to fight or flee. When cortisol is high, your body shuts down non-essential functions, digestion slows down, immune response changes, and reproduction? That is the first thing to go. Getty Images. When Mark touches Sarah at 11 p.m., her nervous system doesn't register intimacy. It registers another demand. Her brain scans for safety and finds none only unfinished tasks and exhaustion. Her brake slams down hard to protect her energy reserves. Trying to get aroused while high on cortisol is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. You might move a little, but you will burn out the engine. Weight number 2. The silent pain of GSM. This is the physiological truth that women are often too embarrassed to discuss. As estrogen drops during perimenopause and menopause, the tissues of the vulva and vagina change. They become thinner, drier, and less elastic. This condition has a medical name: genitourinary syndrome of menopause, or GSM. For Sarah, sex has started to feel uncomfortable, maybe a little sandpapery. Maybe it burns slightly afterward. It's not agonizing, but it's not pleasant. Here is what happens in the brain. The moment Mark initiates sex, Sarah's brain anticipates that discomfort. Even if she wants to be close to him, her amygdala fear center of the brain predicts pain. It whispers, "Warning, this hurt last time. Don't do it." So, her body physically tightens. This is called anticipatory guarding. Her pelvic floor muscles spasm, which makes the sex actually painful, which confirms the brain's fear, creating a vicious cycle of pain-fear avoidance. So, when you look at the full picture, Sarah is not frigid. She is a biological organism behaving exactly as she was designed to. Her brain is prioritizing survival over reproduction because of stress. Her body is prioritizing safety over pain because of GSM. She doesn't need a glass of wine to relax. She doesn't need a lecture on being a better wife. She needs to lift the foot off the brake. How do we do that? We stop trying to force the accelerator and start addressing the context. We have to change the environment so that her brain can finally signal, "I am safe. I am relaxed. I am ready." This leads us to the solution. It is time to chart the path forward. So, where do we go from here? You now know that you are not broken. You know that your brake is simply too sensitive, and your accelerator needs the right context. Knowing this is half the battle. The other half is taking action. I want to give you a 3-step roadmap to reclaim your intimacy. This is not a quick fix, it is a practice. Step 1. Schedule your intimacy. I know, you think, scheduling sex? That is the least romantic thing in the world. But remember, your responsive desire needs preparation. It needs the mental load to be cleared. Waiting for spontaneity is a strategy for failure. Scheduling intimacy allows your brain to anticipate connection. It gives you permission to stop working, stop parenting, and switch gears. Tell your partner, "I want to be close to you. Let's set aside Saturday night. But let's make a rule. We don't have to have intercourse. We just have to be intimate." Take the pressure off. Remove the goal of performance. When you remove the expectation of the finish line, you might find that you actually enjoy the journey. Step 2. Treat your physiology. Stop suffering in silence. If sex hurts, or if you feel dry, treat it like any other medical condition. You wouldn't ignore a toothache, would you? If you are in your 40 seconds or 50 seconds, talk to your doctor about GSM. Ask about vaginal moisturizers. Think of them as face cream for your most sensitive tissue. Ask about localized estrogen therapy, which is safe for most women and stays in the tissue without affecting your whole body. Restoring the physical comfort is the foundation. You cannot build pleasure on top of pain. Step 3. Close the stress cycle. You cannot move from mom mode or boss mode to lover mode in 5 seconds. You need a bridge. Create a ritual before intimacy. Maybe it's a warm bath. Maybe it's 10 minutes of deep breathing. Maybe it's a massage. Do something that signals to your nervous system. The day is over. The threats are gone. It is safe to feel. And to the partners watching this, your foreplay doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in the kitchen. It starts by taking the mental load off her shoulders. Doing the dishes without being asked is foreplay. Listening without fixing is foreplay. Creating safety is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Conclusion: am I broken? No. You are simply a woman navigating a complex world in a changing body. Your lack of desire is not a character flaw. It is a signal that your body needs safety, context, and care. You deserve to feel alive. You deserve to feel pleasure. Not for your husband, not for your duty, but for yourself. It is time to stop fighting your body and start listening to it. If this video spoke to the silent part of you that has been feeling guilty for years, please let me know. I want you to comment below with just 3 words. I am not broken. Let's fill the comment section with a wave of women reclaiming their truth. And if you want to dive deeper, if you want to learn the specific language to explain this to your partner without fighting, I have created a free guide linked in the description. Subscribe to this channel. We are just getting started on this journey of understanding ourselves. My name is your guide. Until next time, take care of yourself.